Hi, I'm Luke Kohler and welcome to Making the Cut. In this series, we tackle the challenges facing job shops and manufacturers. Whether you are upgrading older equipment or adding new capabilities, this series can give you insight on how to be more competitive in the manufacturing industry. Thanks for joining us. In this episode, we're going to address a question that I get asked all the time. With all the struggles finding people to program, set up, and run machines, when does it make sense to consider bringing automation into a job shop? Automation is a broad term that many shops equate to some type of robotic loading or unloading of a machine, or using a robot to perform a task like deburring parts or loading a piece of inspection equipment. While this is becoming more prevalent, automation can also include more simple pieces of equipment like bar feeders, parts catchers, that can add a lot of value as well. Let's talk about the concerns job shops have when thinking about robotic automation. One of the biggest struggles many shops have when it comes to adding automation is parts volume. A smaller facility specializing high mix, low volume parts runs may not think that automating that process makes sense, and in some cases they're right. For example, a batch volume of 20 or even 50 parts with a relatively quick cycle time will generally work better for an operator to load and unload, or to implement a bar feeder and parts catcher instead of a robot. If that volume goes up to 100, or if the cycle time is longer, a robot can add a lot of value in reducing labor costs and part handling versus an operator. Another question that I get asked pretty often is whether a shop should try to tackle the connection, installation, and programming of their first robot or to use an integrator. An experienced integrator has the know-how and bandwidth to take the process on from start to finish without the effects on machine time and parts production of a DIY install. Yes, it does cost more initially to have an integrator perform the install, but a decrease in downtime will more than make up for these costs. Speaking of costs, looking at a robot purchase really needs to be considered as a labor investment instead of a capital equipment purchase. If you have a robot performing the same tasks as an employee and know the total burdened hourly rate of that person, it can be fairly simple to calculate the return on investment as an adjusted labor cost. For example, one of my customers who runs multiple shifts implemented their first robot nearly 5 years ago, and although they had an estimated ROI of 15 months, their real return with increased parts production and reduced labor downtime was only half of that. Gone are the days of the only option being large industrial robots with cages and confusing programming languages to automate a process. With solutions like Agile Robotics Flex System or Cobot combos offered by Machinike or Kratz & Saunders, your shop can easily integrate automation with quick conversational programming and service and support that is second to none. Thank you for watching this episode of Making the Cut. If you have questions or scenarios you'd like for me to review, leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.